What's up, YouTube? I came back with another video, gang, and y'all already know. Since I said the first video I made on this damn laptop worked out, I'm gonna do it again. And today we're gonna be reacting to the top 6 worst SpongeBob episodes. I always was a fan of SpongeBob. I always fucked with SpongeBob. SpongeBob basically was my childhood. If there was nothing on Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Disney, XD, nigga, I don't watch Disney. Fuck on. It was Nickelodeon, and you already know what came in clutch. SpongeBob. There's a few SpongeBob episodes that I like. Mostly I like the specials, the Christmas specials, the Halloween specials. I fucked with all of them. But today we're gonna be reacting to this worst episode, and this is my first time reacting to this shit. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Y'all already know what I'm saying?
SpongeBob, I'm gonna burn you.
It's
time to check out the last tiny shred of creativity, not yet destroyed by the corporate pinheads running Nickelodeon. SpongeBob. As much as I enjoy this cheery sponge's underwater fast food routines, over the years he has managed some bad episodes worthy of song.
I fucking hated that episode. I hated everything about that episode because that nigga SpongeBob was acting so stupid for no reason. This nigga right here was finna eat my boy Gary. I was about ready to shoot the whole episode, bro. I was about ready to shoot my fucking TV. Mind you, I was nothing but like, I was at least like 9 or 10. Not even, I don't know. But I was young when this came out. From 9 to 11. One of those age gaps. I fucking hated this episode. It was so annoying because this rat right here. I hate this nigga.
So, in order to honor the dim-witted, Nimrod moves Nickelodeon's been making to stifle
Harvey
all
Beaks, I remember that.
left on their network, let's check out the top 6 worst SpongeBob episodes. And as always, if you do like these episodes, that's great. It's just my usual silly personal opinion.
You changed our
underwear.
I remember that too.
So take this list with a pinch of salt. Anyway, let's do this countdown. Number 6. The Splinter.
Oh, God!
Gets a splinter. In fact, he gets
this shit was so nasty.
Of all splinters. A huge, pus-filled, blood-spewing, vein-filled splinter. And
the graphic they put into this fucking episode was so goddamn nasty, I changed the whole show. This is when cable was a thing. I hated it so much. I hated everything about it. I hated the way this part right here. I hated the way it just slid into his finger. I fucking hated it. I did. God.
Lucky us, we get to see every tiny detail as it's slowly inserted into the skin. And the rest of the episode is pretty much watching the Splinter get more and more revolting. And finally, watching Patrick slowly nail the Splinter with SpongeBob's thumb, covering it in garbage to infect it, and finally leaving it looking like a gangrenous, festering horror.
Oh, I think I opened up.
This doesn't actually make sense. Given SpongeBob's anatomic structure, how does he even get a blood-spewing splinter anyway? I mean, he's called SpongeBob, but you really do have to give the creators credit for making an injury look so painful, and yet managing to sneak this much horrifying imagery past the censors.
He put fucking garbage on it, bro.
Lousy premise. Not much happens, and it is downright agonizing to watch. And for number 5,
I think I'm already finished, bro. Now we gonna keep going though.
SpongeBob, You're Fired.
Hey Gary, I'm home. Forever.
Or you could get another job, maybe? I mean, Mr. Krabs openly admits he only pays you a nickel a day. Why don't you be a jellyfish park ranger or something? You love jellyfish. SpongeBob becomes miserably depressed because he's fired from his fry cook job. In fact, from losing his fry cook job, he loses all faith in himself and all energy to live. First off, I want to say this is a downright bad example for kids. You don't have to define yourself by your job. You should define yourself by how you treat others.
You know how stupid I was when I was a child. Okay. You know how long it took me to figure out that SpongeBob was a sponge? At the age of 10, my whole life I thought SpongeBob was a piece of cheese. Even though in the name it states SpongeBob. I was a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, I was, bro. It's just
or the hobbies you enjoy. I think people dislike this episode so much because it is a complete change of character for the Sponge we knew. The real SpongeBob we know wouldn't be this crushed and useless after a small setback. But this SpongeBob just becomes empty and cynical. The words empty, cynical, and SpongeBob just don't go in the same sentence. It's unusually discriminating against the unemployed, really.
What are you doing with these here freeloaders?
I got fired. Now I'm unemployed.
Maybe the creators were trying to discourage young people from leaving their jobs. I don't know. But I was not a fan of this episode. And the fourth worst SpongeBob episode is Pet Sitter Pat.
bro, I don't want to watch this shit for real, bro. This the reason I hate this nigga Patrick, bro. He's such a dumbass friend. It makes him a bad friend. The way he clowned SpongeBob in front of his parents that weren't even his parents. Then he tried to kill Gary. That was a bitch move. I'm sorry. What else? This nigga got in a fight with his friend's arch nemesis. His fucking bro. What? Whatever.
I'd say this is the episode where we watch Patrick transition from a lovable stooge to a cruel, apathetic jerk. When SpongeBob leaves the house for the week,
thought somebody was at my
watch
door.
Patrick starve Gary to death while torturing him at the same time. And much of the episode is Gary crying in terror and suffering as Patrick laughs inanely. Eventually, because of Patrick's stupidity, Gary turns into a vicious feral monster. That's it, Gary. Attack Patrick. Even I want to see Patrick talk.
This nigga Gary could solo Goku. Debate me, nigga. Yeah, I said it. Debate me, cuz. This nigga Gary could solo Goku. I don't care what you say.
Torn to shreds at this point. This episode really drove home for me why Patrick is one of the most hated cartoon
That nigga slipped
characters.
twice.
He's
Stupid
not
ass.
just stupid, but uncaring towards others' feelings. He doesn't even try to do right by SpongeBob and treat his
Bonk.
pet well. As
This nigga's so fucking retarded, bro. This nigga's retarded, bro. Look at this nigga. This nigga's retarded.
the episode drags on, Gary is forced into hiding in order to survive Patrick's rampant stupidity. Until eventually, Patrick tries to set Gary on fire with a flamethrower. How did we even get fire in the sea anyway? It's the ocean. You can't get fire and water and And we finish this episode off with Patrick trying to kill Gary with salt. Sure, why not? This is not Patrick.
Look how you did, my boy. This nigga Patrick turned my boy into a fucking statue, bro. I'm pissed off. I'm sorry. I'm pissed off, bro. Look at the way he's sitting. I hate this nigga. Fuck your show. I don't care about this show. I don't.
Patrick's best moment. And the third worst SpongeBob episode is Demolition Doofus. I've
Nah, that
always
wasn't that
felt
bad.
for Mrs. Puff, but I do get the joke. SpongeBob can be a nuisance. But this episode felt more like watching her be repeatedly tormented to the brink of insanity. It feels like I'm watching this hidden, malicious, evil side of the writers whenever I see Mrs. Puff. I just never found it that funny or entertaining to continually watch Mrs. Puff suffer. We start the episode off by SpongeBob permanently injuring her, leaving her hospitalized. At this point, she finally snaps, and we watch her slowly seethe with hate, until she eventually decides she needs to kill SpongeBob.
I could finally be rid of SpongeBob.
Wait, what? Surely on a kid's network, trying to kill SpongeBob is crossing the line just a little? I mean,
Nah.
even Squidward wouldn't try to kill SpongeBob, and he is forced to work with him every...
That nigga Squidward did try to kill SpongeBob. That nigga was going to assassinate him with a blown up pie. I have no idea what this nigga talking about. That nigga Squidward tried to kill SpongeBob, and he low-key did regret it when the time came to find out that this nigga SpongeBob played his stupid ass, which was a funny episode. I liked the episode. But that nigga, I'm sorry. SpongeBob is very annoying. True that. But it would end the show if it happened. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
Every single day. To me, anyway. I got a stinker for you today. Patrick, surprise, surprise, torments SpongeBob, gluing his friend permanently into the ringer device so he can't eat, work, or even move his hands. I don't even get it. How could stupidity even guide someone to glue someone into place? That seems more like something that would actually take intelligence and malice.
See, here we go with this nigga Patrick again, bro. This nigga's always fucking up. There's really no episode where this nigga Patrick actually cheered me up, where I was actually happy for this nigga. Cause everything he fucking did was just lame, toxic. Just being an L friend overall. I don't even know why this nigga's still in a damn show. You got this nigga SpongeBob here still supporting this bitch ass nigga. This is clearly SpongeBob's up, but he just nigga SpongeBob too soft. I'm sorry.
This process leaves SpongeBob injured, miserable.
Look, he took my nigga to the fridge. He can't even use his hands. Bro can't even swallow food. He got a fucking black eye. Look, this nigga's depressed. He's depressed. And you.
And dead inside. This episode is beyond excruciating.
Look, he's struggling to fucking.
And dead inside. This episode is
Look! Look! Bro, this makes no sense. Look, my nigga's struggling. Look his orbs. Look! Dog. Oh my goodness.
beyond excruciating. And for once, SpongeBob finally complains to Patrick about his passive-aggressive, nasty behavior.
You know how I feel about you ruining my life!
And he damn well should stand up for himself.
Oh, God.
And in response, the entire park turns on him for complaining about being abused.
Oh, dog. Okay. Okay. This is why I don't fuck with these pink, brown, purple, green, yellow, orange tank top wearing bitch. Bro, never mind.
Claiming he has a bad heart. What kind
Look! He's the most nicest person in this. He's the most nicest person in the show. He's the most nicest person in the show. Anybody that ever came across SpongeBob know that half of them niggas were disrespectful as fuck.
for complaining about
I'm
being
for the wrong.
abused?
Look, that brown bitch right there. Look, that nigga right there. He gonna slam. I think it was that nigga or the red one or the brown one. One of these niggas slapped this nigga with a pizza box. Not only that, the brown bitch gonna chase this nigga down for some fucking chocolate. Harass this nigga for some chocolate. All he did was try to pay the nigga chocolate. And he gonna try to attack SpongeBob for the chocolate. And at the end of the video, he was, can I buy some chocolate? With his goofy ass, bro.
Claiming he has a bad heart. What kind of twisted,
Hold on, y'all.
mean-spirited, botched-up moral is that? And just to top off the distasteful pile, we are finally subject to imagery of SpongeBob having become paralyzed and insane after the endless abuse and trauma he suffered. Sometimes there's a lazy bore.
Look. They got my boy looking like he just swallowed a nutsack. Come on now, dog.
Boring episode of SpongeBob. And with 10 seasons, who can blame the occasional stinker? But this is just outright cruel.
I guess crying does solve your problems after all.
Sure, why not? And before we get to number one, I'd like to give the usual quick, dishonorable mentions. A pal for Gary.
This bitch ass nigga right here. I hate this nigga, yo. I do. I hate this goddamn insect. Fucking ew. thing
I
is
was
all
tempted to
my
cover
heart.
this one again, but
I
I
do.
talked about it in
If
worst
I could,
episode of Good Cartoons.
if I could ever hate a character, it would be that motherfucker.
Don't have much to add. For those who don't know, SpongeBob gets a pet that tries to eat Gary for the whole episode.
See,
It's
I
pretty
thought the little
horrible.
motherfucker was gonna be
Squid
cool.
Bob Tentacle Pants. Just grotesque.
I actually never seen this one.
Truth or square? Endless flashbacks. And as much as I think Tom Kenny is awesome, watching 60 straight minutes of him
That nigga
calling
breath
random
hitting.
celebrities was kinda dull. And I can only imagine how bored the kids must have gotten seeing all these random
I never seen this episode either.
grown-ups they didn't know. Though that being said, I did really like the Scurvy song by
That
Pink.
shit was fire.
Anyway, here we go. And the
Debate,
number
nigga.
one worst SpongeBob episode is One Course Meal.
Oh god, that was torturing my nigga Planting for no reason at all. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at her. What's going on, Pearl? Man, need some dentures, goddammit. Goddamn.
I know I've discussed this one before, but there really is just no topping the cruelty of this episode. Who came up with the idea of watching Plankton tortured to the point of insanity and suicide?
Oh yeah, I got a question too. Why this nigga Plankton always trying to go after their formula? Like, bro had like 17 seasons, probably like, oh no, probably like 9 to 10 seasons to figure out what food he wanted. Excuse me for my burping. I'm sorry. To find out what food he wanted to cook. But this nigga just chose to sell fish parts. I only seen like 2 niggas eat that shit. It was like yellow and purple fish, and then I think it was another fish. But some niggas got so desperate for a Krabby Patty, they switched to Plankton's chum bucket to get some chum, just to eat it, just to gag it up. That's why I say half of these niggas own this guy. Half of these niggas own SpongeBob or retards. I mean it too, cuz I'm not joking. All the fishes on here are retards.
Yeah, that's a great idea for a kid's cartoon.
Our friend Plankton turns out to be instinctively petrified in fear by the sight of whales. So the creators dedicated the entire
They got my nigga foaming at the mouth. What's going on?
episode to torturing Plankton in fear, to the point where he is isolated, broken down, and attempts to kill himself.
And it's all this
To
nigga
which
Mr. Krabs' fault.
laughs with glee.
Dickhead, bro.
Jeebus.
This nigga's a dickhead. He a dickhead. I'm sorry. He's a dickhead. He treat his fry cook wrong. He treat his waiter wrong. He treat his people wrong. This nigga will take a penny from my baby if he could. This cheapskate bitch. Bro.
I just can't get past the unfiltered malice in this episode. Watching Plankton break down, lose his sanity, and isolate himself from the world is just excruciating to watch. And in
What?
case you still
You gotta wait.
found the episode even slightly tasteful, Plankton then has a seizure-inducing nightmare, filled with horror music and Plankton being burned alive by acid. This is what eventually leads him to try and kill himself. Was there any attempt at good taste in this episode?
I thought cartoons couldn't make suicidal references or whatever, or talk about suicide, and they talk about that in any general direction. They I don't know.
course meal is truly the epitome of bad for SpongeBob. It's violent, it's cruel, it's
Wait, hold on.
disturbing, and
There's chicken? Why couldn't this nigga Plankton just make chicken? That goes the idea right there. But he decides you want to be thirsty for some fucking Krabby Patty from you. Dog, this nigga.
downright malicious. I can easily say it remains the number one worst SpongeBob
That
episode.
shit's sad. I'm
But as
sorry.
much as it's easy to make fun of SpongeBob's bad moments, it remains one of the final creative,
Patrick still is
innovative
fed.
cartoons Nickelodeon still airs.
Fight
And
me.
after 16 years of episodes, any cartoon that tries to be creative is going to occasionally have a bad episode. And honestly, even if the new episodes aren't quite as good as the old, SpongeBob has managed to remain so solid over the years. So much so that even Nickelodeon
Get
can't
fired.
find a reason to crush its creativity. It's always been miles above the Nickelodeon sitcoms, which populate most of the channel now. And I honestly don't mind SpongeBob sticking around, because as long as SpongeBob is around, Nickelodeon can never quite forget the value of creative animation. Do you think I missed a particularly bad SpongeBob episode? If you think so, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hope y'all guys enjoyed that video. I'm finna go ahead and hit the fuck out because this video has so many errors. I'm finna cut it out. Alright, I'm gonna cut everything out. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I get the same amount of views I got on the last video. I actually had like 17 views on that episode. So if you could be kind enough to go check that out. Yeah, cut it right there, bro. That's it. Alright, thank all of you for watching. Just know, like and subscribe. I love you, your mom, your dad, and your uncle too. Don't forget your sister and brother. Tell them I love them. Bye-bye.